Today we're going to show you exactly how to do the world's easiest one-handed card trick. And we're going to do it at a train station. Look at that. Can't get over that. Welcome to the channel. What's up, makers? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nate Javier and I'm super stoked you're here with me today. Yes, it's one of those weird videos where we just kind of came out, did a quick at the table, but today we want to share our own little thing for you. We're going to teach you exactly how to find somebody's card with one hand the most impressive way, and a few things along the way. Let's jump into it. So this trick is super easy, very simple. All you need is a deck of cards. You can do this with any deck you have lying around the house. You can have it shuffled, you can borrow it, that's the best part. In fact, I've done this in a few different situations, but some of you may have known this trick from when you were kids. However, we put a little bit of a twist on it to kind of showcase something a little bit different. So really, the entire trick is this. They choose a card. You have one card turned the other way. They place it into the deck, same way as everything else. This card gets turned back, and all of a sudden, their card's facing the wrong way. That's kind of the lame way to do this effect. You want something that'll stand out. You want something that'll be different. So with the same principle, which is the essential thing, we want the root to be their card turns over the wrong way. We want to take it to the next step. So here's what we do. Before you do the trick and whatnot, under the guise of like under the table or at the bar or something like that, you're going to flip the bottom card face up. So now you have a deck facing they're the same way, all except for one card, the bottom card. Now there's a few different ways to do this. My favorite method is the turnover. Essentially what's going to happen is your index finger, I don't know if you guys can see that, your index finger is just going to clip that bottom card. The rest of your hand is going to grab the deck, pull it forward, so now we're in this position where the card is retained in your hand, the rest of the deck in your other fingers, all the way out, and you flip it all back on top of each other. So then you get the one reversed card. Now you got to be smart about it because you want it on the bottom, right? So with the deck face up, I would do the same thing. Clip it just enough to get some friction and stop that card from moving. And in full motion, it would be like this, where I would grab the deck and do this. Now you don't want to just outright be that person who just goes, okay, I'm fiddling, and don't do that. No. Slow and smooth. Talking, and right when you look up, all you have to do, get the friction on that card, and do this. Flip it over nice and smooth. Another little tip, keep your hand tilted up slightly. Boy, that makes a difference here. Let me see if I can do this head on for you guys. So that's where you can see it. Now if I were to do it, I'd probably be talking and just casually just make that one of the gestures. So now I got the card facing the wrong way at the bottom. They're going to go through, choose a card, which is going to go up here in the pocket. Nobody's right there. We won't worry about whatever that is. So now while they're looking at their card, showing it to everybody else, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. My suggestion is flip over the top card as well. Don't give me this small hand excuse, because I've seen people who are like 7 or 8 years old do this. You push the card all the way out as far as you can with your thumb. As you can see, it's clipped with these fingers. And you just kind of let it fall back on top of the deck. So one-handed turnover like that. Alternate method, you could always just use your thumb to put something on the bottom, or similarly bring it from the bottom to the top. Either way is good. So let's put another face-up card on the bottom, put it back there. Another method is if you go to your side, you drop the deck, And if you push off just a little bit, you'll see that card flip up and rest against your body. So now you have a reversed card. So that's really where we're at. We have one card face up, two cards face up, and the rest of the deck in between. And now here's where the magic happens. So you reverse this card now. Okay. Now you guys, you might need a lot of practice for this, but ready? Okay, we made it. We made it. That's literally it. All you have to do is turn it over. You can even do this with one hand if you want. So now you've got this moment where it looks like the deck is all face down, and they're going to place their card in. I like to do a small little riffle, not enough to show all the cards, because that's not the smart way to do it. Just tilt it away from them. So if you guys are the spectator's eyes, I'd tilt it away just a little bit to give you guys the exposed view. Tilt it towards you, just enough to be able to stick it in somewhere in the middle. I'm going to show you guys the biggest move. Your hand is just going to be cradling the deck, pinky at the bottom, just so when you push through, it's fine. You've now convinced them that the deck is facing all the same way. Because my hand's not covering, I'm not using, a quarter-pound burger to cover all that. I want them to see that the bottom card is this. I want them to see that the top card was face down. I want them to see that their card is facing the same way as the bottom card. That way, as they push it in, or you can push it in, and square it up as fair as possible. And you bring it down. You've done it so slowly and fairly that they're not going to understand. I mean, you don't overprove it, but they're not going to understand why. The whole deck that was facing the same way, they got to push it in. Their card's facing the wrong way. So now here comes the fun part. What I'm going to do is flip around. I'm going to tell them I'm going to find your card with one hand, not this hand. This one. And I make sure this stays in view the entire time. All the way up to the point it's behind my back. And that's when I do the reverse moves. So the same way that we actually put the card in, cards face down or face up, opposite way on the front and back, we're going to do it again. So I take some time, make it seem like I'm searching, and in reality all I'm doing is this, flipping this over, and this. Couldn't take more than 10 seconds maybe, but I make it seem like a struggle. And if you guys aren't capable of flipping this over and flipping this over with one hand, like I said, another option is to, if this is your back, I'm going to use my hand as the back. One option is to push the card out against your back, flip it up, flip the rest of the deck over, push it up against your back, flip it up, and there you go. Of course, you can do fancy moves like that, where you can take it out, put it back, reverse it around. Let's see if I can still do it. Yep. Whatever it takes. Advanced, intermediate, beginner, you're able to do this. You just need to flip these cards back. So now they're going to be extra weirded out when you go from this position. You keep it all there. And mind you, you have your back turned. You don't want them to... Don't perform like this. Don't do anything like that. No. You place it behind your back, you turn back to them, and then you do all those secret moves. So now you can look at them. And this is perfect. In good Magic, you want them to remember your face as well if you're going to be a performer. What I like to do is keep the faces towards them, because they're not going to remember what the card was, they're just going to remember that they saw a bottom card. And I like to thumb through slowly, showing all the faces of every card. Faces towards them, except for one, which I can clearly see is the Six of Spades. But it's a better reveal if you have the back towards them. It creates that moment of suspense, and they're like, that could be my card, maybe it's not, but they're like, oh, but what if it is? And it creates that tension inside. You take it out slowly, pulling the deck away. I mean, these are minor little details that nobody thinks about, but other than just doing that, it's not good. Remember, you want them to frame it by your face. So you pull the rest of the deck away. You look at them, ask them, what card did you choose? Make a scrunchy face. Because this is the world's easiest card trick. We want to sell it as if it's the most difficult thing in your repertoire. What card did you choose? 6 of Spades. I can't believe it actually worked. And it's that moment where that pause, tension, and they freak out. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's worth it, right? Some little things to tell you guys a little bit about this is, remember, it's not all about skill. A lot of magicians put themselves out there like, oh yeah, look at me and the 7 faces of Sybil cuts I can do, and don't worry about that. A lot of effects that fool magicians themselves are because the principles are solid, and this is one of those ones where you have a solid principle. And everybody knows the one where you have just one card on the face. It's different, they put it in reverse. But it's little changes where you have one card facing them and you slowly do it that freaks them out. It's all of a sudden a different trick. And this is just something I wanted to share with you guys. Maybe you can use it to freak some people out. So that was it. That was the world's easiest one-handed card trick. And it makes you look like a master at sleight of hand. Again, remember, it's all about the principle, not about the sleights in this one. So even you small humans who may be watching this, or you big humans who watch this, can do this too. Freak anybody out because it's something impressive. Your coworkers, your significant other, your family, anybody, mess with them. Remember also though, once is a trick, twice is a lesson. Don't repeat the trick to the same audience every time. Find some new subjects to test your stuff on. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'll please click up here, it's going to be a playlist we put together just for you. Smack that bottom link, see what YouTube thinks you should watch next. And remember, keep making that magic.